Hey guys, welcome to day one of the 5 days to build your personal brand challenge. I'm so excited for today. We have so much good stuff coming your way. Just a friendly reminder, if you haven't taken a moment to watch the welcome video that I sent out yesterday, please take a moment and do so because I talk about why a personal brand is so important and the details around the challenge that you can expect this week. So in that email that I sent yesterday, that's where you can find all that information. But let's go ahead and talk about today. So day one is all about showing up as your whole self when you build your personal brand. So first of all, congratulations for taking the time to build your personal brand. As I mentioned yesterday in the welcome video, everyone has a personal brand, whether they know it or not. It's all about taking the time to curate it and take ownership of that, and defining who you are and what you do. So today we're talking about showing up as your whole self. I want you to, if you haven't yet, download and print out today's worksheet, because what I'm going to do in the training video today is walk you through that worksheet and talk about the questions that you're going to answer and how those impact your personal brand and what part of the personal brand building process these relate to. So please take a moment to download and print the worksheet, or alternatively, grab a notebook and pen so you can start to answer those questions. Another thing I want you to do is turn off your email notifications, turn off your cell phone, turn off your kids, turn off your husband, really sit down and get in a space where you can just focus on you, because you're going to get the most out of this challenge, the most out of this worksheet, the most out of today's exercise by really just making that special space for yourself, okay? So let's go ahead and dive in. I'm going to share my screen and walk you through the worksheet, and then this will be your time to actually start to answer those worksheet questions. You can pause me along the way if you need to, or you can watch the video and then answer the worksheet questions after, whatever works for you, right? This is your time to build your personal brand. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay, and I think you can still see me as well. So let's dive into the good stuff. All right, so today is really about defining what do you want to be known for and showing up as your whole self as you build your personal brand. So today what we're going to do is we're going to start to build some of those keywords in how you define yourself, and we're going to start to pull from your motivators, your passions, some of your backstory of what led you to where you are today, because that's all part of your personal brand. That's all part of defining yourself and distinguishing yourself online. So let's dive in. So the first question is, I want you to make a list of the top titles, skills, traits, attributes that you want to be known for professionally. I want you to come up with at least 3, but no more than 10. And so I kind of leave this open-ended, right? Because when someone asks you, what do you do? Sometimes we have difficulty answering that. And it might be for a number of reasons. It's because 1, maybe we're not sure what we want to be known for, or we're not sure how to define what we do. Or 2, it might be because it depends on the person that we're talking to. So this is your opportunity to just really brain dump, get it on paper. If you want to go ahead and pause this video to start writing these down, go ahead and do so. So you can just get these out on paper. I don't want you to spend any more than 5 minutes on this, and really just get as many things down as you can. And feel free to be as broad or as narrow as you can. But if you can be specific, that's super helpful, because it's going to help you further refine and define your brand in the long run. So another way to think about this is, like I said, when someone asks you, what do you do? How do you respond? What is the first thing that you comes out of your mouth? How do you define the work that you do? So if you're a business owner, you can talk about that. If you're in the corporate world, you can talk about your job title, but give us specifics around what you actually do every day, and what you want to be known for. I really want you to focus on yourself, what you want to be known for, and not what you think other people want to hear. Because the key to having an authentic personal brand is focusing on you and what you want to be known for, not focusing on what you think other people want to hear. It's focusing on what you enjoy doing, what motivates you, what drives you, and all of that good stuff that comes together. So if you need to, go ahead and pause this, get some of these down on paper, no more than 2 to 5 minutes, and then press play again, and we'll continue through the worksheet. Okay, so at this point, I want to kind of show you what mine were, or what they are right now. When I go through this exercise, it changes for me a little bit. I'm a digital marketing strategist, personal brand building coach, executive visibility consultant. Like, those are 3 different things I use to define the work that I do. Public speaker, I want to be known as someone who's kind of funny or down to earth and relatable. I want to be known as having a sense of fun. I want to be known as a creative, an entrepreneur, an influencer, someone who's influential, and a social media strategist. So when I go through and like write these things down, you can see some of them are actual job titles. Some of them are skills. Some of them are traits. Some of them are attributes. When I wrote them down, I didn't worry about priority. We're not going to worry about priority at this point. You're going to focus on that later. So for now, I just want you to get this on paper and really ask yourself, what do I want to be known for? Like, when I describe myself, what are some words that come to mind, right? And just write these down. Okay. So hopefully you've done that, and hopefully you have some really good stuff going on. And then, so once you wrote this down, like, forget about them for now. We're just going to get them on paper. We're going to come back to them later. But for now, this is just a brain dump exercise, a brainstorming exercise for you to start to like get these on paper. Okay. The next thing I want you to do in worksheet 1B is answer the question, what motivates you professionally? What drives you every day to do the work that you do? So, what are your motivators? What gets you excited about work? What, makes you like want to keep doing this work or want to move forward? I know that in every job, no matter what you do, there's some things that might be tedious or that you don't enjoy doing, but focus on the things that motivate you, what drives you to move forward, and what outcomes you want to see in the work that you do. The next few questions, I would say maybe take like 2 to 3 minutes per question, set a timer or hit the pause button now and start to answer this question. But don't write down whatever comes to mind. Don't get too caught up in finding like the perfect answer. I just want you to really just get this on paper and focus on, what you want to do. My example, I'll go ahead and tell you what my example is. What motivates me and what drives me every day is working with women in leadership roles, increasing the visibility of women leaders in their industry, and having the freedom to be myself and show up as who I am, like unapologetically and authentically in the digital landscape, and do so in a creative way. So those are my motivators. For sure, that's what drives me. For some of you, it might be your family. For some of you, it might be having freedom. For some of you, it might be Monet. There's nothing wrong with being driven by money. It could be anything and everything. So write those down, and don't use the first thing that comes to mind. Okay, so hopefully you've done that. We're going to move on to the next question. What are you passionate about? What makes you excited about your work? And so this, could be similar to the previous question, but really we're talking about like your passions. Okay. So this is like, set what your day-to-day aside, like what do you really enjoy? What do you really love to do every day? And I want you to write these down. Forget about like the work that you're doing, forget about the, the work that you want to do. We're really going to get down to the core of like what you're passionate about and what you enjoy. And then we're going to weave those things into your personal brand as we move forward throughout the challenge this week. So this is really just about you and what you're passionate about. So press the pause button if you need to. Take a couple minutes to answer this question. Put down the first things that come to mind, and then I'll tell you my results. And actually, as I'm doing this, I'm like, oh, I should have added this and this and this in there. So in any case, go ahead and do this for yourself right now. Let me take a sip of water. Okay. So some of the things that I'm super passionate about in my work are like watching other people receive recognition and visibility for all their hard work. I work with a lot of clients that are super, super hardworking. And when they actually like I had a client win a couple of awards, this past month, and I helped submit her for those awards. And seeing her get that industry recognition is really, really satisfying for me. Also, when I see my clients and colleagues get speaking opportunities, increase your client base, increase their influence, leverage the power of social media, being seen as an industry leader, like all of these things, I'm like super excited about. I'm like, yes, like you work so hard, and finally this hard work is paying off, and you are a rock star, and like that makes me super excited. Other things I'm super passionate about is making people laugh if I can. Um, I don't know. I'm passionate about like being up to date on like what's going on online in the digital landscape, social media. And also I'm passionate about like keeping some of my personal life personal. But anyway, those are some other things that I wish I would have written down in my example here, but now you're hearing them here. So answer this for yourself. And like I said, you can focus on the work that you're doing if the work that you're doing is like what you're passionate about. But if the work that you're currently doing isn't what you're passionate about, like focus on your actual passions. Focus on like what actually makes you excited, okay? And then we'll go from there. And we're going to weave that into your personal brand. All right. The next question is pulling from your backstory. What led you to where you are today? Why do you do what you do? And so really, I think that we all have such a unique backstory, such a very personal history, and sharing that and writing that down and having that defined and figuring out like what you want to share is a really great piece to building your personal brand. So take a couple of minutes, and you might need a little bit more time for this, but I want you to like think about your history. Think about like big life transitions. Think about things that led you to where you are today, and write down this personal backstory for yourself. Take a couple of minutes. It can be Cliff Notes version. It can be full sentences, but I want you to write this down, get this on paper. So go ahead and hit the pause button and answer this for yourself. All right. So I will tell you my example, and you can see it on the worksheet, but I'll just kind of verbalize it as well. So I spent my career in the corporate world, leading high visibility digital marketing campaigns for two of the world's largest professional services firms. I led social media campaigns. I helped increase the visibility of our corporate leaders and C-suite executives. And through that, I was exposed to some amazing women in leadership. And I found that when I was working with men on their personal brand versus working with women, that I was really drawn towards increasing the visibility of women leaders in their industry, because I think that, there just needs to be more work done in terms of gender equity and that sort of thing in the professional world. And there's so many amazing women leaders out there. And so I want to showcase and highlight that. And then that's kind of the impact that I want to make on the world. So I realized that I wanted to leverage my skills and my traits and all the work that I've done for big corporate businesses and do it for actual, human beings. So I work with a lot of C-suite level women in small businesses, in big businesses. I work with people that are doing nonprofits who are getting venture funding, all those sort of things. But all of the people that I work with today is based on the work that I've done in my past, what I enjoyed doing. I also enjoyed, delivering trainings and education and working one-on-one with people. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing today. Another part of my backstory is I used to live in San Francisco. Now I live in Taiwan, and making this move, this international move with my husband and with my family has given me the space to launch my own business. So that's a little bit of part of my backstory. And those are the things that I talk about when I talk about who I am and what I do, why I do what I do. So I want you to think about that for yourself. So if you haven't pressed pause and answered this yet, go ahead and do so. And write this down for yourself and pull from any part of your backstory that makes sense. Some things you may decide to share when you define your personal brand, and some things you may decide not to share, and that's totally, totally fine. But understanding why you do what you do and like why these things are, why you have chosen what you want to be known for in the way that you have, it's all part of this. Blah, 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 blah. Maybe I should edit that out of this video. Anyway, so, okay. Those are the questions that you have answered today, right? First of all, you've made a list of the top things that you want to be known for, 3 to 10, and you've chosen skills, traits, attributes. Don't worry about like those details. We're going to focus in on that later. And you've also talked about your motivation, your motivators, your passions, and your backstory, okay? So this is all part of building your personal brand. This is like the core piece. And as we move forward throughout the challenge, each day will build on this. So by completing worksheet number 1, you're going to have to reference this for worksheet number 2. You're going to have to reference this for worksheet number 3, number 4, number 5. So it's super important to complete today's worksheet or complete today's prompts if you haven't done so. What I want you to do next is share your day 1 results. I want you to go to the Facebook group, log in, and share the list of things that you want to be known for. You can share your full list. You can just share a few. And I want you to share a little bit about what led you to where you are today, some of your backstory, some of the responses to worksheet 1B, okay? And so share that with the group. This is how you're going to start to practice getting your personal brand out there. And I want you to feel strong in this. And I want you to feel confident in this. And I want you to congratulate yourself for sharing this, because this is really bold, really brave, and can be very scary. I have always been terrified every time, like I'm doing this video and I'm like, I'm so nervous. Oh my God. Every time I share something anywhere, I'm like, I'm a little bit nervous. And that's okay. Like, it's okay to be nervous. Accept that, embrace it, but be bold and share in the Facebook group, okay? This is your chance to share this in a safe space. If you have questions about this, I'm answering questions in my Facebook group as well. So if you're like, hey, Leslie, I'm going through the worksheet and I'm not sure how to answer this or what makes sense for me, feel free to go ahead and answer this. Also know that I am going to go live at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern to answer questions about the worksheet, answer questions about challenge day 1, and talk about, what we're going to go through the rest of the week. So if you have questions, go ahead and join me tonight live, and let me know if you have any questions. And once again, thank you for joining me, and congratulations for focusing a week for personal brand building. All right, awesome. I will see you guys tomorrow.